This is the Cash Flow Digest. My name is Matt Faircloth, and me and the DeRosa team are here for you guys on a weekly basis with this podcast, YouTube video, and broadcast recording. This is also live on our Facebook group, DeRosa Insiders. In whatever medium you're watching, please take a minute and like this content, leave a comment, and leave it a review. We really appreciate you guys doing that. And we're going to be talking about all things real estate and all things cash flow because our company is dedicated to transforming lives through real estate, and cash flow can do that. We're going to be talking about things that are affecting the real estate industry, news in the real estate investing world. And we're also going to be bringing on guests that are crushing it in the cash flow sector of real estate investing. If you guys want to join and watch the show live, please go to Facebook and look up DeRosa Insiders and join that Facebook group where we record this show every Friday at noon Eastern. Hope to see you guys there. What's going on, everybody? It's Matt Faircloth here. Welcome to the Cash Flow Digest. My name is Matt. My company is called the DeRosa Group. If you guys are not watching live, you can next week because we go live every Friday at noon Eastern on the DeRosa Insiders channel, which is on Facebook. Look on Facebook under the search bar, DeRosa Insiders, and you'll find the DeRosa Insiders community with thousands of members of people that are passionate about real estate investing, cash flow, living a better life, making a better life for other people, and transforming lives through real estate as we do here at the DeRosa Group. And that is the DeRosa Insiders community. And that is a capital F free community here on Facebook that you guys can join. I got a phenomenal guest coming at you guys talking about getting creative. Guess what? Real estate investing is always creative. You don't find good deals, you make good deals. Get out there and find your own real estate opportunities, build your own partnerships. That's how you're going to achieve true wealth in real estate. And that's what our guest is going to talk to us about today. Kyle McCorkle is going to be joining us today. And I want to just give you guys a few thoughts. Okay. We're going to be talking about finding deals. And if your guys are just sitting and waiting and watching LoopNet and waiting for a realtor to send you a deal, you might be waiting for a little while. In today's economy, there's a lot of people that are still looking to buy real estate. And those that are going to be successful, those that are going to get out there and shake the trees and bring the deals to them and find the right opportunities. We're going to talk about finding opportunities and getting creative with our guest, Kyle McCorkle, who's going to be joining us now. Welcome, Kyle. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for joining us on the show. Tell our audience real quick all about you.
Born and raised in Hershey, Pennsylvania. That's where I live. That's where I live now. I went to Penn State for industrial engineering. I went into consulting for 10 years after college. I started buying rentals, and then in 2019, I had a small portfolio. 2019, I went full time. Kind of fast forward to today, I'm a licensed agent. I do wholesaling, I do flipping, and I do buy and hold. Buy and hold still my end goal is I want to buy as many properties as possible and with as many units as possible. So just looking for buy and hold multi-unit properties. But at this point, it's just, hey, if we find a deal, let's figure out the best thing to do with it, whether it's a listing or a wholesale or a flip or a buy and hold.
How do you do the dance of being a realtor when somebody wants to list their property with you and also a real estate investor? Because it seems like in some ways there is a cross in interest there where the seller may want the best number they can get for their property in a nice and clean fashion. And as an investor, you want to buy for the best number you can to make the best cash flow, get the best air quote, get the best deal.
Right. That's a great question. I should mention that just as part of, you had mentioned it earlier, because of the way the market has been for the last 12 months or so. I actually had my license, but it was not active, and I reactivated it a couple months ago, basically to react to the current market. Because I had this system that would basically find sellers. And so many times I was finding sellers that their only option for what they're looking for would be a listing, and I establish a really good rapport with them and they trust me and they want to work with me. And then they hear my cash offer and they're like, no. So my approach for the past couple months since I've reactivated my license is one of honesty. And I basically, from the very beginning, I say, hey, I'm a licensed realtor. Do you want to list your house or do you want a cash offer? And usually they'll say, I don't know. I kind of want to know about both. Sometimes people say, you know what? I just want a cash offer. Whatever.
You'll offer both when you go
Give them
in.
both. Give them
Like,
both
I
options.
can list this house. I've heard this tactic actually, that I can list this house for you, and it's going to require a bunch of people to go walking through this property, and they're going to wait for financing, and they're going to maybe close in 90 days or 60 days or whatever it is. Or I give you a cash offer right now. I'm buying, and I'm going to buy it in 2 to 3 weeks. Yes, I'm going to get a good deal, but I'm going to close cash. No contingencies, no questions asked. Here's the check. It's going to be, so you decide which one you want.
Depending on which way they lean, you can kind of pivot. So, if someone says, I just want a cash offer. So I'll say, okay, I think if we list it, we could get more, but okay, I'll give you that cash offer. So you give them that cash offer, 100,000. Then they say, oh, you're lowballing me. Blah, blah. Okay, well, why don't we talk about listing now? I think we can list it for 130, and then maybe you'll keep 122, and then you can kind of use the two options to play off.
And it'll take 4 to 5 months probably from the time that we list it and get a buyer, go to contract, and then get closing, whatever. Or 100,000 is still good. Right. Yeah, that's interesting. And I hope you guys listening get that it's not always about money. There's always other factors when it comes to closing. I bought properties that are estates. They inherited this property. I get they're very sad their parents passed, and I'm not taking advantage, but I am making the problem go away of this house that they were in, probably unexpectedly inherited or something like that. I'm making that go away so they can get back to their life. So sometimes a sale, the terms are more important than the price. How quick can you close? Are you not going to beat me up on inspection stuff? Are you going to just take it as is? I bought properties, Kyle, with the furniture in it, because it's like, I don't even want to deal with moving the mess out of here. Just take it just like it is. I've also bought more properties, Kyle, where there was a major disaster, like a fire or whatever. They took the insurance money, the number they got from me, paid their mortgage off, and they were gone. Right. And it's like, just take it as is. Don't be hitting me with inspections or insurance conversations or whatever. Just take the keys, and I get to go away and get back to my life. The best sales are making the pain go away.
I actually have a really good story. So this is kind of along the lines of being scrappy, finding deals in this market. So I have a VA. Every single day, she updates a Google document with foreclosures, landlord-tenant disputes, probate, just any kind of potential distress in my target areas, which is the Harrisburg area. So I saw on her list a property that's right across the street from a 5-unit that I own. And so I looked up this property that's on the probate list. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's a 5-unit too. So we bought our 5-unit about 2 years ago for $215,000. We put about $70,000 into it, and it appraised for $425,000. Okay. So now the one across the street is part of an estate. Someone passed away, someone inherited this property, and they probably want to sell it. My VA and the list that she makes, we normally just are sending mailers for those. But because this was across the street, I'm like, I'm calling this guy. I don't know what I'm going to say, but I'm going to call him. So right away, I just Google him. He owns a auto repair shop. Called up the repair shop.
You called the repair shop, like you want to have your car worked on, right?
I said, hey, I want to talk to,
the guy.
What's it about? And I said the address, and she goes, oh, okay. And so she sends me to him. And I just said, again, I had no idea. I said, hey, I own the property across the street from XYZ property. I know this is a long shot, but just wanted to see if you might be willing to sell it. And he goes, oh my gosh, that's part of an estate, and my dad took such terrible care of it, and we have to sell it. And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. That sounds good. And I didn't even ask him. He goes, but I got some bad news for you. We have to get $120,000 for it.
Right. And I can't, and not a penny less. Right?
Yeah. All right. All right. Well, we'll have to see what we can do there. So, anyways, long story short, we ended up getting that one under contract. Now we own 5 more units on the.
How much work did it need?
It's going to need a lot of work. It's good. I mean,
more than 70K, right?
A lot more than 70K. A lot more.
Is it occupied? 70K.
It is occupied with tenants that are not up to our standard. You have to expect to get, like, if you're gonna try to look for good deals, you have to expect there's going to be problems.
I want to comment on that. It's funny what happens when if you've got an owner that doesn't take very good care of a property. Lots of deferred maintenance. That's a nice way to say it. A deferred maintenance, right? I'll just do it another. I'll do that tomorrow, right? I'll fix that roof. They won't. The thing is that properties that have lots of deferred maintenance like that always have tenants that are not going to be respectful or not going to be good on paying their rent or anything like that, because they're willing to deal with that.
Yeah.
They're willing to deal with a property where the roof's leaking or that there's, just major disrepairs and the owner doesn't care, doesn't want to take care of it. Unfortunately, maybe because they're financially down on their luck and the owner's not going to chase them financially, end up having crime issues too, because the tenants that are there don't want to live in a nice place, don't want to be, discovered of what they're up to. Right. So you got to,
what has worked in the past, we never kick anyone out. We also very rarely, we'll do it over a very long period. We don't raise the rent right away.
Good for you.
We basically buy it and we say, hey, you had a verbal lease with the other owner, will you sign a lease with us? By the way, like, there's a new sheriff in town, like you have to pay. We actually tell them you have to pay online. But a lot of times that scares away half of these types of tenants, and they're just like, nope, see ya. And then we're like, great, now we have vacant units that we can turn over.
And that's just a testament, guys, for finding off the markets and surfing. Kyle, just to highlight what you did, let's boil down what you did to get that deal. It was your VA surfing public records, looking for probate kind of stuff. Like, what are the keys to success that people listening can follow to duplicate, to go get themselves a 5-unit for 120? Give us a few bullet pointed, do this, and this is how you manifest deals like that.
I think the first step is look for distress.
Yep.
You can look for distress either through public records. You can also do driving for dollars, which is free but time consuming.
Let's speed around a few items that are distressed. You said probate, someone passing, that's distress. Foreclosure, pre-foreclosure, that's distress. That means you're not paying your mortgage, right? I'll give you one more. People don't think about this, but I got two, but I'll just do one, and I'll keep one in my pocket in case we need to. Violations, properties that have lots of violations against them. And a lot of townships, that's public knowledge, on properties that the town has come up and say, your roof is no good, your roof is leaking, your windows, your shrubs are overgrown, whatever it is. Means the owner doesn't have the money or the wherewithal or the time to maintain the property. And so violations from the town are signs of distress. You got another one?
Yeah. I was going to say, so it's similar, municipal liens. So if they're not paying their sewer bill or something.
That's the next step. Right. The next, I've seen violations turn into a municipal lien. But yeah, not paying your water, sewer, right? So this is all public information, guys, right? And the last one that I had for you, Kyle, is and this is off the wall, but I don't get why more people don't do this: eviction filings.
Oh yeah.
I've seen this too, where multiple evictions filed in a small multifamily like the one you just got right there, 5 units, right? And you'll look in the public record and see 2 of the 5 or 3 of the 5 currently under eviction, right? That is distress, guys. So look for those signs of distress. And so, Kyle, you said you find those, then what? So once I've found some distress in a target market that I'm looking in, what's my next step?
Then you just try to contact those people by any means possible. So, I mean, what we've been doing is we text them immediately, we call them immediately, and then we send out a mailer immediately.
Are you skip tracing to get their phone number?
We're skip tracing.
What does skip tracing mean for everybody here?
So skip tracing is where you look up the owner, and then you actually can look up their, relatives and stuff like that. I mean, you can find multiple phone numbers for that person. You can find if they, live in a different address than what public record says. And then, it'll give you a bunch of phone numbers, and then you can text and call those numbers.
Yeah. If you guys want to just, there's a search companies I've used over the years, Kyle, to skip trace when I did a lot of this, whitepages.com, Zaba search, Z as in zebra, ABA, Zaba search is a good skip tracing site. A lot of times they're going to require you to pay, a few bucks, but you know what? Hey, if you get a 5 unit for 120K, might be worth doing a Zaba search, or paying a few dollars for those searches. Good stuff. Now, just to change gears completely,
Right.
that's awesome stuff on finding off the market deals. To highlight one more time, find distress, use the resources, and maybe have to make a phone call more than once. Have to bang your head against the door a few times before they open it, because sometimes people under distress don't want to face the music.
Right. Yeah.
They don't want to face. Yeah. I mean, hey, yeah, I'm hurting like
Yeah.
crazy. I'm bleeding. I'm embarrassed over here. Tell me all about it. I mean. Yeah. So
Exactly.
you might have to be a little tenacious to get on.
I got really lucky with that 5 unit. Like, I made one call and he answered
Yeah.
and he was like, we need 120. And I'm like, okay.
So Kyle, bringing it home here, you've created some great success. What's next for your business, for you and your partner, for everything you guys are up to? What should we look out for you for now?
Yeah, I think number one, we're always looking for multifamily buildings, within about an hour of the Harrisburg area. And then number two for me is just, so you got the rental portfolio, which is always growing and it's cash flowing and it's frankly doing pretty well. The wholesaling business is just finding as many deals as possible and finding ways to monetize leads as much as possible. And we kind of talked about that, right? Wholesaling is a part of it. Flipping is a part of it, which I do with my partner as well. But then also realtor listings and being a buyer's agent and stuff like that.
You gotta keep the lights on too, right?
Let's just get that cash flow coming in to keep paying for that marketing, to keep finding more deals, to keep building the portfolio. So it's just kind of all that feeds into the different parts of the business.
Sweet. Kyle, that's awesome. People want to hear from you if they want to pick your brain a little bit further on how to identify that distress in their market, or for whatever means they want to pick your brain or talk about Harrisburg, right?
Sure.
How do they get a hold of you?
Yeah, thanks. So I am on Bigger Pockets. So you can find me on Bigger Pockets. I'm also on Twitter. I'm more active on Twitter than I am on Facebook. So you can find me at Real Life Rentals on Twitter. And then my website is called realliferentals.com. So that's kind of where the industrial engineering part of me has put a bunch of graphs and charts and summaries. I outline a summary on each property and then the overall portfolio. So you can see how each of my individual properties and the total portfolio is doing on
Real Life Rentals.
any given month.
Realliferentals.com.
Realliferentals.com.
Okay, guys, check out that to hear more about Kyle McCorkle. Kyle, it's been great having you here on the Cash Flow Digest show. Really, really grateful for you and for your tips. Really got a lot out of our conversation. By the way, if you guys like what we do here on this show and you guys are watching this either on Spotify, on YouTube, or in whatever vehicle, take a minute right now and like this show in whatever mechanism that you can. So like it, give it a 5-star review, write it a nice little blurb or a comment or whatever you'd like, because we'd love to hear your input on what we do. We're doing this so we can engage you guys in good real estate education and content. Great conversation that I got there. Really what I got is, if you want to find a great deal, you got to find distress, right? If you want to find a terrible deal, you got to find pride. Right? Somebody who's like really, really proud of their deal and wants to sell it for the highest number they can. It's really, really proud of the work that they did or whatever. That's a great way to find a super, super overpriced deal. But if you want to find someone who's detached themselves from the pride of ownership that they have on the property, or willing to be realistic about what it's worth, you got to find distress, because distress tends to dissolve that pride that they may have and make them face the music on what they're really dealing with, right? So that's what we got, guys. Really grateful for you guys watching, listening, and joining us here live on the DeRosa Insiders page, or listening, whatever means that you do. Make sure you guys check out this show live. It is every Friday at noon Eastern. You guys can join us then. We got another great show coming at you next week. And I'm really, really thankful for you guys and all the DeRosa Insiders community, and for those of you guys watching online. Thank you, guys. I'll see you next time. And thanks for watching the Cash Flow Digest. Hey guys, Matt Fairclough here. Thank you for listening again to the Cash Flow Digest. I really appreciate you guys doing that. If you guys want to hear more about what DeRosa Group has to offer, go to DeRosa Group, DeRosa Group.com, DeRosaGroup.com online. You can hear about all the great things that we offer from an educational standpoint and passive investment standpoint on our website. See you there. And if you guys want to join our online community, DeRosa Insiders on Facebook, where you can watch this program get recorded every Friday at noon Eastern, and you can come on as even a guest or ask questions on the show. We hope to see you guys on our online community, DeRosa Insiders. See you there.